Imagine a world of endless grass stretching further than the eye can see under a vast, open sky. This was the Mongolian steppe in the 12th century. It was a harsh and beautiful land, a place of freezing winters and hot, dry summers. Life was a constant struggle for survival against the elements and against other people. Nomadic tribes roamed this immense landscape, following their herds of horses, sheep, goats. They lived in round, felt tents called gurs, which they could pack up and move in an instant. There was no single nation, only a shifting collection of clans and tribes, often at war with one another. It was a world where strength and loyalty were the most valuable things a person could possess. Into this world, around the year 1162, a boy was born. His name was Temujin. His father, Yasugi, was a minor chieftain of the Borjigin clan, a respected but not overwhelmingly powerful leader. Legend says that when Temujin was born, he held a clot of blood in his tiny fist, a sign that the shamans interpreted as prophecy. They believed this child was destined for greatness, that he would become a great warrior and leader. This powerful image set the stage for a life that would exceed even the most dramatic predictions. From his earliest days, Temujin learned the ways of the steppe. He was taught to ride and shoot with deadly accuracy. His father tried to prepare him for leadership, teaching him about alliances and the delicate dance of power. But this education was cut tragically short. The death of Yasuge was a catastrophe for his family. The clan abandoned them and took their herds. Temujin, his mother Holun, and his siblings were left to fend for themselves, cast out with almost nothing. This was a death sentence. They were expected to starve, to be killed by predators. Life became a daily battle for survival. Holun taught her children how to live off the land, gathering roots, picking berries, catching small creatures. Temujin felt the weight of responsibility. This hardship forged his character. He became self-reliant, learned to observe everything, trusted only his immediate family. His will was tempered like steel. Tensions ran high. Temujin had a dispute with his half-brother Begter over hunting spoils. Feeling challenged, Temujin with Kasar ambushed and killed Begter. His mother sternly rebuked him. The Taichud clan captured teenage Temujin and forced a wooden kang on him. He was paraded and humiliated, yet watched for opportunity. During a festival when guards were drunk, he escaped and hid in the river. He found help from a sympathetic family, winning loyalty. His escape was more than flight to freedom, it was a declaration that he would not be broken. Having escaped and survived, Temujin understood he could not achieve his goals alone. The steppe was a world of alliances, and he needed powerful friends. His first step was to reclaim the betrothal his father had arranged years ago. He traveled to the Ongirat tribe to find Borta, the woman promised to him as a child. Her father honored the agreement, perhaps seeing destiny in the young man. This marriage was not just personal union, it was a crucial political alliance. Soon after marriage, disaster struck. The Merkit tribe launched a surprise raid. While Temujin escaped, his new wife Borte was captured. Instead of despairing, Temujin saw this as opportunity to prove his leadership. He turned to Togrul Khan, leader of the Karait tribe, and sworn brother of his father. Temujin presented him with a valuable sable cloak, Borte's dowry. He also brought in Jamuka, his childhood blood brother. Together they assembled a formidable army and launched a surprise attack. Temujin fought with incredible bravery and Borte was rescued. The victory earned him reputation as a capable warrior who looked after his own. The ideological split between Temujin and Jamuka soon erupted into open conflict. The first major battle ended in victory for Jamuka. In a cruel display of traditional power, Jamuka had captured chieftains boiled alive. This horrifying act was meant to terrorize but had the opposite effect. Many warriors, disgusted by brutality and drawn to Temujin's inclusive leadership, abandoned Jamuka. This marked the beginning of a long struggle for control of the Mongol world. Temujin spent 2 decades in battles, betrayals, and alliances. He systematically defeated tribes that had wronged him, including the Taichud and Tatars. With each victory, his army grew stronger in numbers and loyalty. He integrated conquered warriors as equals, breaking down old clan divisions. His final challenge was a coalition led by former allies Togrul Khan and Jamukha. Togrul, influenced by his jealous son, betrayed their alliance and attacked. The final battle for Mongolia's unification was fought in 1204. Temujin's superior tactics and loyal men carried the day. The steppes were finally united under one ruler. With all tribes defeated, Temujin called a great assembly, a Kurultai, in 1206. On the banks of the Onon River, where his life began in hardship, chieftains gathered. It was a moment of immense historical significance. The shamans proclaimed him supreme ruler bestowed by the eternal blue sky. He was given the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler or oceanic ruler. This was more than a new name. It was the birth of a new nation and identity. Before this, loyalty was to family, clan, or tribe. Genghis Khan declared all people under his rule were now one people, the great Mongol nation. He organized society not by clan but into a decimal system. Units of 10, called Arban, 100, Azun, 1000, a Mingan, and 10,000, a Tumen. Promotion was based entirely on merit and loyalty, not birthright. A common shepherd could rise to become a general if he proved his skill. He created the Keshig, his imperial guard of most loyal warriors. He ordered creation of a writing system for Mongolian, adapting Eiger script. He established the Yam, an efficient postal relay system with fresh horses. This system was the central nervous system of his empire, allowing messages to travel up to 200 miles a day. Having united the Mongol tribes into a formidable war machine, Genghis Khan turned his attention outward. The Mongol nation was surrounded by older, wealthier, more populous sedentary civilizations. His first major campaign was against the Tangut kingdom of Shishia to the south. This served as crucial training, teaching them siege warfare against fortified cities. After securing their submission and wealth of tribute, Genghis Khan looked towards the Jurchen-led Jin dynasty of northern China. The Jin dynasty was protected by formidable defenses, including the Great Wall. In 1211, 100,000 Mongol horsemen poured into northern China. The Mongols would feign retreat, luring enemies into ambushes. They used superior mobility to bypass fortifications and strike at the heart of enemy territory. They learned quickly, incorporating captured Chinese engineers and siege weapons, catapults, battering rams, and primitive gunpowder devices. The conquest was brutal, and cities that resisted met total destruction. While China campaign raged, a new front opened west. Genghis Khan sought peaceful trade with the Khwarezmian Empire. He sent a trade caravan to Otrar, but the governor had the merchants killed, suspecting them of being spies. The Shah had one envoy killed, and others shaven and returned in humiliation. Enraged, Genghis Khan unleashed the full might of the Mongol nation. In 1219, he led over 100,000 warriors west. Bukhara, Samarkand, and Urgench were sacked and destroyed in a punishment that scarred the region for centuries. Genghis Khan understood that conquest alone was not enough to build an enduring empire. An empire required order, stability, a common set of rules everyone had to follow. To achieve this, he compiled a secret code of laws known as the Yasa. The exact contents have been lost to history, a secret for Mongol royalty, but its principles are well documented by those who lived under it. The Yasa codified traditional customs and military decrees from Genghis's rise. Laws were strict with severe punishments, yet applied equally from highest general to lowest soldier. Equality before the law was revolutionary for its time. The Yasa forbade theft, adultery, bearing false witness, all punishable by death. It demanded absolute loyalty to the Khan. It included surprisingly progressive rules like diplomatic immunity for foreign ambassadors. A lesson from the Khwarezmian incident. One remarkable aspect was religious tolerance. The empire contained Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and many faiths. The Yasa decreed all religions be respected. Clergy were exempt from taxes and public service. This wasn't modern pluralism but pragmatic. Quiet clergy would pray for the Khan's success. The Yasa shaped society and environment. It outlawed polluting rivers and streams. It regulated hunting to preserve game during breeding seasons, early conservation. It created a census for taxation and conscription and secured property so theft became nearly unheard of. Order and security were so profound that a maiden carrying gold could travel across the empire without fear. Genghis Khan died in 1227 during his final campaign against the Tangut kingdom. The exact cause and location of his death remain history's enduring mysteries. His burial location was deliberately kept secret by his followers, but his death did not end his empire. His sons and grandsons continued his conquests. The Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous land empire in world history, stretching from Korean peninsula to Hungarian plains, ruling over a quarter of the world's population. The legacy of Genghis Khan is complex and contradictory. In lands that bore the brunt of his invasions, he is remembered as a ruthless destroyer. Yet in modern Mongolia, he is revered as a national hero and founding father. Beyond the battlefield, his impact reshaped the world map and course of history. The Mongol Empire created the first significant era of direct contact between East and West. This exchange of technology, culture, and ideas fundamentally altered development of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. His emphasis on meritocracy, religious tolerance, and rule of law were revolutionary concepts. The political entities that rose from his empire's ashes set the stage for the modern world. Today, Genghis Khan remains a figure of immense fascination and debate. Was he a bloodthirsty barbarian or visionary statesman? The truth is that he was both. He was a product of a violent world, yet possessed genius for leadership, organization, and strategy. From despised outcast to global conqueror, he forged an empire that connected the world as never before. His journey is a testament to the power of a single individual's will to remake the world in their own image.